Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Bruce here, Traveling with Bruce. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sending me thumbs ups, comments, and PayPal donations. You guys are wonderful. Today's video, it's all about Royal Caribbean. This is January the 12th, 2021. And Royal Caribbean has come out with the news that we've kind of been expecting because Carnival did it. Now Royal Caribbean is doing it. They have officially announced that all sailings for the Carnival brands will now be delayed until at least May 1, 2021. And what's interesting about this announcement is it didn't need any government intervention to make this happen. The CDC said nothing. The Trump administration has said nothing. The Biden coming in administration has said nothing. These cruise lines are voluntarily already doing what they know they have to do. They have got to be upfront with their customers and, give in to reality, I guess is the word. I'm trying to find the right language here. The bottom line is that the vaccine numbers are so bad right now, and that the for inoculations, it's so slow getting people vaccinated. The virus is running rampant in many areas of the world, and it is completely obvious to anyone in the travel business that really pays attention to this. There just isn't going to be international travel allowed between countries, and the cruise lines know there is just no way they can get passengers to their ships and home from their ships without putting them at great risk to catch the infection. And that really is the bottom line, and you can blame whoever you want and complain to whomever you want, but the reality is the virus is winning, humans are losing, and despite our incredible scientific breakthroughs for the new vaccines, in such a short period of time, the logistics of getting hundreds of millions, if not billions of people vaccinated cannot be done by just snapping your fingers and making it happen. It just doesn't work that way. We all have, we're suffering from what we call that 8-second attention deficit disorder. If you ever watch a TV show nowadays, they don't ever show you the same scene for more than 8 seconds. They're constantly changing camera angles and lighting techniques because we don't pay attention for longer than 8 seconds for most things. And in this world here of the virus, we've given it our 8 seconds of attention. Yeah, it's out there. Let's get the virus. Yeah, we got the virus. Okay, let's get everybody inoculated. Well, it doesn't happen in 8 seconds. And there is the problem. Unfortunately for mankind as a whole, we're going to have to wait this thing out. The cruise lines know it. There's no way they can bring their ships into Miami, to Fort Lauderdale, Port Canaveral, Tampa, any U.S. ports, East Coast, West Coast. There will be no sailings out of the U.S. at least until May 1, and that I still think is optimistic, unfortunately, because the virus is spreading much faster than the vaccines can be distributed. The vaccines are being distributed to people, but not at the same numbers that the case counts are rising every day, and we're fighting a losing battle at the moment. The hope is that, the power of compounding will work out, that as another 100,000 humans get vaccinated, there's 100,000 people that can't become carriers or become infected. And if every day we can add 100,000, 200,000, 500,000 people a day to the numbers, eventually the virus will run out of places, fresh places to go in certain geographical areas. That doesn't protect mankind, unfortunately. Globally, it affects mankind probably regionally. And these cruise lines are offering international cruises every time you get on one of these ships. You don't go from Miami to Baltimore and back. You don't go from New York City to Miami and back. You are going to international countries in the Caribbean, overseas to Europe, in Asia, South America, you name it. And these cruise lines are dealing with health authorities on a global basis, not a regional, local basis. and that sort of makes it even tougher to make it fly. Now, with Royal Caribbean, they've made a couple of announcements. Number one, of course, no sale now till May. That includes Celebrity, that includes Asamara, likely includes Silver Sea. Other news coming out is that the Alaska cruise season looks like it's in jeopardy for 2021. It is becoming more and more obvious that sailings in and out of Alaska are unlikely to happen for this year. 2021, that's unfortunate. That's 2 years in a row that Alaska will be shut down, and that is causing tremendous headaches up there. Financial issues, unemployment issues, you name it, but it is what it is. Royal Caribbean, since last March, their financials have really taken a hit like any other travel company. In the case of Royal Caribbean, on March 31, 2020, they announced their first quarter of losses, with the pandemic being to blame. They posted $1.4 billion in losses last year, March. Then in June, they posted $1.63 billion for the next 3 months. Then the next 3 months until September 30, another $1.3 billion in losses. By the end of this year, the next quarter that's about to be released, we're kind of expecting the number to be around $1.5 billion in losses. And we already know that the first 3 months of this year, they're not sailing because they've just announced they're not sailing now until May. They're going to post another $1.5 billion in losses by the end of March of this year. So in a 15-month window from January 2020 to March 31, 2021, we're talking about $7.3 billion in total losses for the Royal Caribbean. And the estimates are that if they don't sail until, say, this September, if it really gets extended out like I think it will, the total will be over $10.3 billion in losses for Royal Caribbean. Now, they have raised a ton of cash. They have issued all kinds of bonds and stock offerings. They have exercised all their bankers' options and everything they can do. They have refinanced a bunch of their ships. They have refinanced brand new ships with these export development banks through the countries where the ships are being built at. They have started to announce the retirement of a few ships. I think they're going to retire more. Royal Caribbean is going to have to let 4 or 6 more ships go, and that will stop the monthly bleed by about $20 to $30 million a month. Even with that, though, they're still losing between $250 and $270 million per month just to have some of these beautiful ships you've been looking at here in the water with maybe 100 to 135 crew, rather than having 1,000 crew on these ships when they are occupied with paying passengers. It's an incredible expense to keep these vessels floating and in top-notch condition. They have to maintain them in a top-notch way. Otherwise, they forfeit probably their insurance coverage. They certainly would forfeit their banker covenants. They've got to keep these ships in pristine condition to keep the loans intact. It's a vicious circle. Downward spiral. The bankers want their money back eventually, but they also want the assets that they're lending the money against to be in pristine condition. Doesn't that make sense? You can't trash the asset you borrow a bunch of money against. Alaska, here you are. A shot of Alaska here. Gorgeous scenery, incredible, stunning views. What a way to see this part of the world in complete 5-star comfort. You can't beat an Alaska cruise if you've never been up here before. We Canadians, we're kind of surrounded by mountains all the time out here in the West, so we don't kind of look at it as in as much awe as others do. But these photos are stunning, and to be able to be on the hull of the ship there, to see that view, it is just a once in a lifetime for a lot of people, and it is a bucket list trip for many, many travelers. Like I said, unfortunately, Alaska is shut right down, and the Canadian ports at the moment are closed off until the end of February, or February 1, I think it is, February 1st. We just had a cabinet shakeup in Canada today, a government shakeup. There's a new transport minister that's taking over from the Honorable Mark Garneau, the former astronaut. But there will be no change in policy with regards to sailing in Canada. It is entirely likely that in the next few weeks, Canada will announce an extension to the no-sail order through all of Canada, East Coast, West Coast for all large cruise ships, and it'll likely go until at least midsummer, and that almost wipes out, almost guarantees to wipe out Alaska cruises for all of 2021. And the cruise lines know it. This is not going to come as a shock to these guys. They're getting ready to offer future cruise credits to all kinds of Alaska cruisers, encourage them to book for 2022 and 2023. This is only a matter of a few weeks before we hear all this news as well. Anyway, there you have it. That's the latest info coming from Royal Caribbean. All sailings canceled until May 1, 2021. The Biden administration takes over on January 2021 roughly, and we're waiting to hear what the CDC will announce with regards to a new no-sail order to be announced. My guess is they're going to do it, and it'll be until the end of summer, but we'll wait and find out. It might take a few weeks before we hear the news, but we'll keep you posted in the meantime, everybody. Thank you for tolerating this long video and bearing the bad news with me. I appreciate your following this channel and supporting it in every way you do. I really love you guys. Thank you so much. We'll keep you posted on what's happening. Bye for now.